Hello everyone, Ryan here with Product Impressions. Looking at something a little bit different today. I'm going to try putting a bidet attachment onto my toilet. Cost about $25 at the time that I bought this. I know prices on Amazon can fluctuate a fair amount, but yeah, 25 bucks. I figured worst thing that happens if it lasts long enough for me to buy one less pack of toilet paper, it pays for itself. So yeah, we're gonna get this set up and see what we think. All right, so what is in the box when you get something like this? There we have it. This is the attachment itself. Feels like a pretty simple plastic. Nozzles here. This is where you attach it to the toilet seat. And we have some controls. Pressure and rear. Interesting. There are, it says, you can see nozzle and female, so you can actually go this way for one more towards the rear and this way for one more towards the front. That's why there are two nozzles down there. All right, and otherwise, a little kit to splice into the water line that actually feeds into the toilet. So there's no electrical component to this one, hence being very cheap. But we're gonna get this set up and see how it works. There was a little bit of play here. These things rotate to make sure that you can line up the holes. And you have to kind of take the bolts out, put them back in a little bit, reattach the seat, and then try and tighten it down while this is still in a good position so it's all the way back against the back side of the toilet. Now it's time to hook up the water. So the basic procedure here is turn off the water from that knob there. Then you will disconnect the water line from the tank right underneath here. Connect this little splitter so that you can run a hose up from the splitter to the controls. One thing to make sure that you do is it did come with some plumber's tape, Teflon tape. Make sure that you put this around the threads on everything, otherwise you're going to get some leaks. Alright, so this is what it looks like when it's all installed. I'm going to tip it forward here a little bit. You can see a fair amount of the plastic behind the toilet seat, but you know, it's a $25 thing. It's not terribly surprising that there's some bulk back there that might not be on more expensive things. But in any case, it doesn't really bother me being there. Let's go ahead and open up. You can see right there is the little part that drops down for the sprayers and everything. And let's go ahead and give this a try. Basically, you've got the front nozzle, or the front dial here is for the water pressure, and the back is for the overall position of it. So if I turn this on, there you can see I put some plastic wrap over here so it's not going to spray all the way up to the camera. But you turn this on, you can see it hitting right about here. Now if I turn it on and adjust it forward and back, that's a little bit back and further forward. So you can really adjust it for however you want. Our water pressure isn't great, so this is the pressure dial is more of an on-off, but if you have higher pressure, great. Even with low pressure water, I do find that this is fairly effective, so yay. And if anything does happen to get on the nozzle, it shouldn't, but you can turn this dial all the way counterclockwise, and it will flush water through that little plastic piece there that houses the nozzles just to flush anything off of it. So, brief rundown on how this thing works. Alright, some final thoughts on this thing. Overall, I do think it is quite nice. I have enjoyed using it. It seems to be effective. Use a little bit less toilet paper. At the point where it stops me from buying toilet paper even one time, it's pretty much paid for itself. So, that's nice. The actual installation process is fairly easy. I've done very little plumbing stuff in the past, and this was easier than unclogging a bathroom sink in my experience. A couple of pointers. I suppose I should say it took about 20 minutes or so, and that is with me initially missing that there was a black rubber gasket in the little packet of parts that I forgot to put in, and so I needed to take things apart and put that in, put it back together. So 15 minutes maybe to set up something like this normally. A little pointer on putting things together. It's really difficult to reach around behind the toilet to work on it. So I would highly recommend wrapping all of the threaded parts, where you attach the water lines and all of that. Wrap the Teflon tape, the plumbing tape around those before you actually attach it to the toilet or put the splitter back behind the toilet. Otherwise, it's really hard to reach back there and actually spread out the tape on there. It's a lot easier if you would do it ahead of time, but live and learn from my mistakes. Overall, really happy with it. We'll see how long it lasts, but hopefully it'll be a good long time. Hopefully this has been of some help to you. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, usual stuff. If you have any other thoughts on different products to try, let me know in the comments, and I'll try out pretty much whatever. So, see you next time.